Oh, no, but what is that like watching those two guys that are so magnificent in different ways come together?
Right. Well, one, you see them both. They both have to sacrifice. They both are the most ball-dominant players in the history of the game.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, before the season, I was a little worried. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it's already hard enough to try to get the ball. Now I got James the rest of the team. Am I ever gonna see it? You don't know. But like what I found out about Russ, obviously I've already played with James. Russ is the most competitive, unselfish dude I've ever been around. Like, he really is. All he wants to do is win. That's just his game. It's just a dominant player, his mindset. But if you tell Russ, hey, man, I was open, or hey, da-da-da, he listens. And he's worked with James. James has gotten so much better at that. They both want to win. They both have done everything as an individual that you could possibly do. They have tons of money, every accolade, every award. The only thing left is a championship. So that's where it is. They actually are starting to work together. And they are starting to mesh. As a player who compliments them, you just have to compliment them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to understand on this team, like, it's hard. But you have to understand, like, some nights, Rich, I'd have 20 points.
Yeah.
Some nights I'll have 4. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, and you have to be okay with that. On this team, on the Rockets, you have to star in your role. Patrick Beverly used to always tell me, star in your role might change your life.
That is so true. So
I just try to I just try to compliment them and do whatever I can to help. And then when you do that, your role gets bigger, or it might get bigger somewhere else. You know what I mean? And then maybe you could be that player that you always thought you were or want to be. But on this team, like, my role is to compliment them. I never let James or Russ guard the best guard in the team. I always tell them, I got them, save your energy for offense, because I know the load that they have every night. So I just try to do the little things like that. That's what I do personally.
No, that's good. I want to talk, about the GOAT conversation, and I don't want you to I don't necessarily want you to weigh in, but I just want to know criteria, because again, I respect your IQ because you grew up around it. You heard the greatest voices at dinner. You have just experiences. Do you think there's a GOAT conversation? And I've been starting to lean in the matter of we can't compare. We can only compare generations, right?
Right.
Let's not compare what Dr. J did, because without Dr. J, there's no MJ. Without MJ, there's no Kobe, right? You have to look at the evolution and how these great players influence, and then all of a sudden you go back and he's better than him. It's there wouldn't have been Kobe Bryant without him. So how is it that a person like you, whose IQ I respect, how is it that you kind of look at the GOAT, and where do you put some of these players?
It's so hard, like you said. You have, it was crazy because 30 years from now, I'm gonna be telling my son about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like now when people talk about Bill Russell, and I don't understand because I just wasn't. I'm too young. I don't understand that time here. So it's just that's what we're gonna sound like with MJ. You know what I mean? To 30 years from now. So it's so hard to compare because all these guys dominated their. Everybody always penalizes Wilt Chamberlain. Everybody's always like, oh, he only played with 6'5" white guys. That's what everybody says. Wilt had no control over when he was born.
They're going 18.
Right? Yeah. He had no control over that. You know what I mean? He doesn't. So it's again, how do you compare? What I do know is that, I can only compare my era. I grew up watching Kobe. That was my go. Kobe Bryant was my guy. And then now that I'm in the NBA, LeBron obviously has made that case. I have one of those three, Kobe, Michael, LeBron. I just try to enjoy all three of them. They're all three different. Kobe and Mike. I think the reason people say LeBron over Kobe is because Kobe was like Mike, but not better than Mike, right?
Yeah.
So his game is where LeBron is a totally different player. So I think that's kind of why it's one of those two. I'm just an MJ guy, man.
It's hard. MJ never lets you down, right?
Right.
MJ, the last shot, first time in the Garden, he goes for 55. He leaves, he comes back, wins 3 straight.
Right.
It was just it was mystical, right? There was this.
Right, 100%.
It wasn't even real. What he was doing, even to go back and watch it.
His flaws are we think they're cool. The stuff he did wrong, everybody's that's so dope. He went to play baseball, and he went to Atlantic City night before a game, and then had.
Can we talk about Dennis Rodman? I understand that it's talked about, but it just gets glossed over. In the NBA Finals, he just went and did WWF.
This is why, another note. I talk to my friends that they're all LeBron James the GOAT. A lot of them are all LeBron, and they're imagine Michael, Dennis, these guys playing with social media and the stuff that they were doing back then. I mean, LeBron James can't go outside of his house and go get a bite to eat without it being on Instagram. You know what I mean? Because it's like, imagine going and missing a practice to go wrestle. Or like, do you understand? Like the magnet.
During the finals. During the
NBA finals.
Like MJ is so focused on his final goal, but this is one thing that I think it's mind blowing. Like we talk about never be repeating in unique individuals, and that Dennis Rodman is an individual that will never exist because they don't tolerate that type of stuff.
No, you could never be in the NBA doing that.
You would be suspended, right? And it's like coaches want to set. No, look, but Phil Jackson, and he is the GOAT for a reason because he was like, if we let Dennis go do that, he's going to come back and prove to us that he can go do that.
It really takes a certain coach. It really takes a certain coach. I mean, George Karl came out and said, if I had Dennis, there's no way I would have played him. Like, you know what I mean? That so it just shows you, like, that team was just like, it just, like you said, it's something that'll never happen again. You know what I mean? The stuff that they were going through. Can you imagine going to Vegas to go grab your teammate out of a room and, like, knocking on the door and seeing, like, Carmen Electra naked? Like, in
I can imagine. I actually have often thought about, seeing Carmen Electra in that match. Just like with Dennis, obviously with Dennis. I'm just saying, yes, I could imagine that.
Right. That would just be like, man, today, whatever you do sticks with you. You know what I mean? If you fuck up one time, unfortunately in our era, as a basketball player, you do something wrong, you can get this perception that can never leave you in the NBA. And it's tough. So to watch that, I actually didn't know the Dennis Rodman wrestling thing.
I kind of remember the wrestling thing. I definitely remember the other one where not necessarily that he needed a vacation, but that they had to go get him. Because Steve Kerr went to Arizona, so he's like been a mentor for me. Judd Bushler, again, another Arizona guy. So these guys, they both talked at my basketball camp when I first got into the league. So they would sit around and we would just like tell us MJ stories. And then I don't know if did you ever go to Santa Barbara?
Yeah, for like my MJ camp?
Yeah.
I went one year. I went one time when I was like 12, 13.
So
I saw OJ, the famous OJ Mayo. Yeah, that's the time I went.
So I was a counselor. So then afterwards, MJ famously would let all the kids go, and then he would just sit and chop it up with everybody for an hour and tell stories. So you would hear some of these stories. Like I knew that they had to go get Dennis, and then MJ would be like, and then Dennis went out there and was maybe the best, most important player on the floor. It was mind blowing.
Right.
Like to MJ, it was mind blowing. Right.
Do you think Dennis could play in like today's era? His game was so specific. Like, what type of guy was he? Like, who was he today?
1,000% I think he could. 1,000% I think he could because when you look at his offensive numbers in college, it wasn't like he didn't score, but he accepted his role. Like you said, like be a star in your role. So his role was, again, like, is he a roller dunker like Clint Capella? No. But is he a monster defender? Is he a Ben Wallace? Is he a somebody like that? Like, we're not that far removed from Ben Wallace. Like, he was a version of Ben Wallace at the 5 spot. And anything, to me, I think he could because if you were playing full small ball, right, that he would be your 5. He would be the best rebounder on the floor, and you know he could guard perimeter people. Right.
He'd be perfect for our team. He'd be perfect for our team.
If y'all could get Dennis Rodman from 93 out of retirement, you guys would probably be the favorites to win a championship.
Right.
So, I think 100% he could play. And I think one thing when they talk about changing players in games, I think they underestimate the IQ of these guys. Like Larry Bird wouldn't have figured it out. Oh, I should shoot 15 threes a game. Larry Bird would have adjusted to the game.
That's what's not fair. Like you watch this documentary, guys are guarding people 4 feet away from them. Like some guy will grab the ball. I'm like, shoot! Like back then that's not what. Right. So it's just like I'm sure if Michael Jordan played in today's area and he's in the gym shooting threes all day, he would have been able to. I mean, you know what's crazy? My favorite, obviously, MJ is so nasty. I love Scottie Pippen, though. That was, like, my favorite part of the film, like, watching him defend and, like, compliment.
Scottie Pippen's game, no disrespect, but it was attainable, right? Like, I could do what Scottie Pippen could do. I could play mean defense. I could run the floor. I could handle a little bit, direct. I could do that. The stuff that MJ was doing was like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like,
that was ridiculous.
I'm not even going to set my bar to that space. Right? Like, that's like outer space, right? So, I get it. Well, look, I don't like Duke people. I kind to like you.
It's because you tried to go to Duke. It's because you tried to go to Duke and they didn't give you an offer.
That actually couldn't be more false. That couldn't be more false. But no, I would never gone to Duke under any circumstances. I hate Duke.
That's so. You talk like a Duke guy.
I understand.
You talk like a. You and Brandon Hill are like in the same cloth. A nice, well-educated, light-skinned black man. You look like a Duke player.
But that's why I hate them, because people think and expect that I would want to go to Duke. I hate Duke. I hate everything that you guys stand for. I hate everything about you. I hate everything. Like that. I'm talking about from Elton Brand to Kyrie. I like Grant Hill. I hate Bobby Hurley. I hate Christian. I hate pretty much the entire pedigree. That's just the start there. That's completely irrelevant to the next 10 questions, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Okay.
Now, we're gonna play a game. Right? So your family, you got one of the first families of the NBA. Not the first, but a first family. A lot of NBA through your whole family, right? Who is the best cook in the entire family?
My mom.
Your mom. Good call. Who's the best at cracking jokes and making people laugh?
My little brother, Spencer.
Okay. Who is the best at making excuses for why people need to get off the phone?
Who is the best at making excuses on what?
On getting off the phone. Like, just like, hey, I gotta run.
I'm probably my older brother. My older brother's antisocial.
Is he antisocial? So he's loving the quarantine. He's loving the lockdown.
He's just chilling at home, being himself. Nothing has changed in his life whatsoever. He has no idea what a quarantine is. Nothing has changed in his life.
He was like, yo, how are you getting the quarantine? Quarantine? What quarantine are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue is.
I don't understand why people are struggling with this.
That's pretty much, that's how he's living right now.
All right, who's the best at calling or texting back?
Probably my dad.
Okay, that's good. That's respectful. Yeah. Best shooter in the family?
Me. My dad can shoot for shit.
Yeah, my dad can shoot. Well, because then people guard him 5 feet away.
He was just, my dad couldn't shoot at all.
Yeah.
But he could do a lot of other things. He was much more athletic than I was, so.
Yeah. Blame your mom.
But I got some of my mom's side on that one.
Blame your mom. All right. Let's see. Best at being petty.
I'm definitely the most pettiness.
I didn't want to lead you with that, but like, tell me, and I respect your petty.
I'm petty wop.
When you were trying to tee your dad up,
I'm petty wop. I'm the pettiest of the pettiest. Sometimes I'm trying to work on these things, but there's something about it when it just makes me happy. I don't know.
Don't change. You know what?
Okay.
Like you said, you had to get a chip on your shoulder. You had to develop one. You had to create one because you weren't you weren't trying to make basketball to eat. You were trying to make basketball because you loved it and to prove to people.
Right. That's what it always was for me.
So
always.
stay petty. Stay petty.
Right.
And embrace it. I like that. Best at debating anything.
Me. Oh no, my sister. I don't even argue with her. I'm scared of her.
You're scared of her? That's fair.
I don't argue with her at all.
Best at bringing the family back together.
Neither of us. Our family is the most unfamily I don't remember the last time we've all been together. I don't even know.
Well, maybe that's
when we were all together. It's like when we're all together. It's like everyone has a bad taste in their mouth. Everybody's like, what is this?
You guys put the fun in dysfunctional. Okay.
Yeah, we were.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Best basketball player in the family.
I'm gonna give my dad because he made an All-Star game. I haven't made an All-Star game yet, so I gotta give him props. He's done more than me, so I'm gonna go with my dad.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I want to say keep your petty. I appreciate you for coming on. I wish you the best outside of any success that is related to Duke. Those are the things that, like, I just want to let you know that will. Every time I get a Duke player on here, I just have to tell them, like, my level of disgust and disdain for them is so.
I don't know where this comes from. What happened?
I lost to them in the national championship.
I know the answer. I just wanted to hear you say it.
I did not lose. Gilbert Arenas was dog shit, and so
I saw that debate. I saw that when you and Gilbert were talking about
he was 4 for 18, so like that's fine, and look, it's cool. But there's some underlying things there too. Like, it's not that I love Coach K. I actually respect Coach K. I just hate all the players that he's ever had. That was it. So it's not, so I still get it too.
I'll say this, as a Duke guy, I love Duke. Obviously, it's where I went.
Yeah.
Do I fit in to the culture?
What are you talking about? You're light-skinned, you're well-spoken.
might be true, but like the whole slap the ground, like I might have did it once. I might have did it one time.
It's part of the culture.
I'll break it.
Kyrie died, like he would die for any loose ball in practice. I was like,
No.